Welcome to the 27th annual Peekskill St. Patrick's Parade. Hello everyone, I'm Bill Powers alongside Deborah Carlin Polehill. And Deb, what a beautiful day.
Oh my gosh, we couldn't ask for better than this. It's always great to join you here, Bill. It's my pleasure. We've been at this together for way over a decade now.
Way over a decade, and I've been actually doing this. This is my 26th year out of 27th year. I started when I was 12 years old, though.
Oh my gosh, yes, you were just a young lad when we began. Well, it's always great to have this television coverage to bring us right into the heart of downtown, beautiful Peekskill.
And that's really what we're all about here on Parade Day, is promoting everything that the city of Peekskill has. And of course, the luck of the Irish is smiling upon us once again. You can see very clearly we have very blue skies and people wearing the green today. Warm, sunny weather, 60-degree temperatures. Probably the best weather we've ever had here for Parade Day.
We've got a huge crowd. People are just so happy to be outdoors. It's just wonderful. And you know, our parade has become the official countdown to spring here in the city of Peekskill.
Well, spring has certainly sprung today, and today, as a parade day, really started earlier this morning over at the Elks Club, where we had an all-you-can-eat brunch, which was attended by dignitaries both from our sister city, Castlebar, and also the mayor from the city of Peekskill, Frank Catalina.
Wonderful.
There was some presentations made this morning, and as I said, the day started with that, and then everybody moves on over to the Assumption Church, where Mass is being held, even as we're on air here.
Yes.
It just ended a little while ago, and we want to thank our chairperson, Janice Malloy, who took over the chairperson's role in the Mass, so we wanted to thank her.
She's dynamite. Those were some big shoes to fill coming off Kathy McGurty, who really built the Mass to a new height. And Janice is keeping that tradition going. So we really appreciate that.
And actually, the festivities started last night.
Bill, I was unable to join you last night. As you know, I had my wee grandkids, Emma and Harper, but is there anything you could share about that Grand Marshal's pub tour that you could, share on camera?
Say on camera?
Yeah.
All right, there are a couple things, actually, and it really is unique to the city of Peekskill. We have Pipe Major Joe Brady pipes each of the Grand Marshals and the aides into the establishments that support the parade on an annual basis. So we go through all of the downtown restaurants and pubs, and also some out on Washington Street. And of course, it is really a rite of passage, because as a Grand Marshal, if you can go to all 10 establishments and still make it to the parade the next day, that's why we picked Chef Stanley as the Grand Marshal.
And I heard that Stanley came through with flying colors. Would you agree?
Absolutely. Flying colors. I saw him at the brunch this morning. He was so happy to be in the city of Peekskill. Of course, he has a long family tradition here in the city. And as we mentioned, he is the Grand Marshal, and we know him as Chef Stanley. A lot of people know him as Chef Stanley. We've both had the honor of knowing him both personally and professionally, Deb.
Many years.
So what should the community know about Chef Stanley?
Oh gosh, where to begin? Chef Stanley. Well, he's been a BOCES educator for many, many years.
About 20 years, yeah.
It's got to be a couple of decades anyway. And he's nurtured so many students to fulfilling careers in their chosen industry of food service. It's wonderful. And in addition, he had a cable show, as you well know, Bill, Eating Right by Cooking Light. And I got to get myself a copy of that video, let me tell you. And then he had his QVC gourmet pizza kit. What a great thing. And, all of the community was just so excited when Stanley was on, Chef Stanley on QVC with his pizza kit.
And I still have his pizza kit. And last night when we were out on the pub tour, by the way, one of his students came up to him at Gleason's and congratulated him on being Grand Marshal.
Nice.
And it was such a warm moment for Chef Stanley to see one of his students really become a success here in the city of Peekskill.
So the student actually is in the industry at Gleason's?
Yes.
Oh, isn't that wonderful?
And our festivities really began over a week ago when we had the installation dinner, and I had the opportunity to sit down with Chef Stanley at Colonial Terrace to find out a little bit more about him and how he's feeling on today's parade day. Stanley, tell me a little bit about your involvement with the Peekskill St. Patrick's Parade Committee.
My involvement with the Peekskill St. Patrick's Parade Committee dates back to the early 90s. I was the food concessionaire at Camp Smith, and Pat Garvey came on board as our post commander. And it was through Pat Garvey that I became active in the Peekskill Parade Committee.
And what are some of the other things you've done with us?
Well, in 1991, I catered the first Irish dinner. And of course, it was corned beef and cabbage and the Irish soda bread, and it was at the Peekskill Yacht Club. I've been a member of the Peekskill Yacht Club for over 35 years. And to have the Irish Parade Committee come to the Peekskill Yacht Club and to serve this dinner was such an honor for me, and it sparked my interest in my genealogy. And my mom used to take me to the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Manhattan all the time. My mom's parents are from County Mayo in Ireland. And we always maintained our Irish heritage throughout my childhood. And now, when I met Pat Garvey in 1991, it just blossomed from that point on.
Let's talk a little bit about walking along the parade route. You had the opportunity to be an aide a couple years back, but this is different. You were going to be leading the parade this year. What do you think will be going through your mind as you walk along the streets and see so many people who really come out to support you?
Well, it all starts here at the dinner. When I was an aide, I just had to stand on the stage and accept my sash. Tonight, this bash is basically in my honor, and I'm so taken back by it, and tell you the truth, Bill, a little nervous about having to say my speech.
I'm sure you'll do well. Give us a little bit of a preview. What are you going to talk about tonight?
Tonight I'm going to thank my wonderful, loving wife and children for all the support they've given me throughout the years. Unfortunately, my son Darren won't be here tonight. He's been stationed in London, where he's training to become a charterman for Hydemark Shipping Company. It's an international shipping company that he now works for. But my daughter Starlin will be here with her Irish hubby, Danny O'Shea. He's 100% Irish. And my beautiful wife Darlene will be here. We've been married for over 40 years, and it's through her support and love, and she's half Irish too, that it's made me who I am today.
And let's talk a little bit about what you want to say to people who are going to be here tonight. This is your opportunity to kind of thank them.
The list, when I first met Pat Garvey, I was a little bit taken back by his hoorah Marine Corps style, because he was a colonel in the Marines at the time, and I was a little taken aback by it. But when I met his beautiful family and his lovely wife Liz, and saw a different side of this person, I saw the love that he had, not only for his family, but for the community, and the outreach that he did to help various organizations. It was just amazing, and I wanted to be part of that. I wanted to follow in his footsteps. I've met so many beautiful people, such as yourself, Bill Powers, Liz Mitchell-Marks, Mike Miner, Chuck McGrail, McGurdy's. I mean, the list of wonderful, wonderful people that I've met who have influenced my life. They were life changers. Jack Carey. He's just been so inspirational to me.
What was your family's reaction when they found out that you were going to be the Grand Marshal?
It was total excitement. My daughter, who's a very passionate person about everything she does, was jumping up and down and screaming like the likes of which I haven't seen since she was a competitive swimmer in high school. My son Darren, he just hugged me and he said, "Pop, congratulations. This is wonderful." He knows how much I love this community and the people that reside here.
And what do you think your mom and dad would think about this honor for you?
My mom had the most beautiful blue Irish eyes. And sometimes when I close my eyes, I can still see them and feel her warmth. It's all about pride. And she would be so proud, as I am, as all my loved ones are. And I'll be carrying a picture of her in my pocket as I walk the route. And I'm so looking forward to next Saturday's parade.
And just at that, Deb, here comes the police motorcade, which signals the start of the 27th annual Peekskill St. Patrick's Day Parade.
Yes, it does.
We have beautiful weather, huge crowds here along the parade route. And we were just told that the crowds along Division Street were so deep you couldn't even see the storefronts. And what a collection of motorcycles we have coming up.
Where do you Well, you know, Bill, this is a tradition here. The police motorcycles escorting the parade. There's police motorcycles today from all over Westchester County, including Peekskill, Harrison, and other communities.
And you know what I love about it? There's so many motorcycles this time because it was such great weather for them to get here today.
Oh, it's great. I see Newcastle, Mount Vernon, Yonkers.
How exciting for the kids to see that, wow.
Mount Pleasant.
And you know,
Some of
Deb,
our men in blue.
we know very well firsthand the thrill and excitement of being the Grand Marshal, and sometimes it's a bit overwhelming, and I think, like the rest of the other Grand Marshals, there's so much anticipation to being the Grand Marshal, and then when the parade is over, you say, let's do it all again.
Absolutely. And with that, there he is himself. Our Pipe Major, Joe Brady, has led this parade since its inception, as well as led the New York City parade on the 17th, right up Fifth Avenue for, I believe it's 27 years as well. So he's been doing the Peekskill and the New York City parades for 27 years, and he leads today, as he does in New York City, the Fightin' 69th Color Guard. Our Fightin' 69 has been here to lead this parade with Joe every year, save one, when they were deployed to Iraq for the war. And you know, Bill, on March 16th, this Wednesday, Joe's going to be at the Paramount Hudson Valley, along with Bill Coulter and Andy Cooney.
And immediately following our bagpiper extraordinaire is Erin McGurran and Phelan, the Irish wolfhound. And Phelan is an 8-month-old Irish wolfhound who lives with Erin up in Saugerties, New York. They traveled here last year and again this year to march in the St. Patrick's Parade. And the wolfhounds are known as gentle giants, but were bred to kill elk and wolves in their native homeland. They're the tallest dog, too, by the way.
Oh, they are the tallest?
Yes, in terms of breed.
And you know, they're the mascot of the Fightin' 69.
Absolutely. And as we look down the street, we see our Grand Marshal,
Here he comes.
Chef Stanley.
Oh, doesn't he cut a fine figure?
And he was presented with his top hat and his shillelagh, as I said about a week ago. And he states in his biography that he's a poor Polish boy from Miami Beach, Florida, and his real name is Stanislaus Charles Rapinski, and everybody keeps asking him, how did you become the Grand Marshal of the St. Patrick's Parade? Well, Stan's maternal grandmother was an immigrant from County Mayo. His mother, Catherine, carried on all the Irish traditions at home. Stanley became interested in the restaurant business at a very early age, getting his first job at Bickford's Pancake House down in Scarsdale. He's a Sullivan County College graduate in culinary arts, and as you mentioned earlier, he was also the food concessionaire at the military base over at Camp Smith. He's a certified chef, a certified culinary educator, and you know, the list goes on and on and on. And along with the folks at Continental Cable, as you pointed out, he produced his show right here, just around the corner from us. In his spare time, he created that pizza kit that he sold on QVC. And along with Stan's wife of 40 years, Darlene, they've raised 2 beautiful children, Starling and Darren.
Tip in his hat, shillelagh in hand. Oh, he's a fine Grand Marshal. And immediately following our beloved Grand Marshal, Chef Stanley himself, yes. Come our aides this year to the Grand Marshal. And we have Miss Lauren Brady, Michelle Carter-Verna, Spanky McLennan, Frank McCann, and Dart Thomas.
What a great group of aides we have this year.
You know, what a fine group indeed.
And they've all contributed in so many ways here in the city of Peekskill. Everybody knows them. Spanky from being a fireman here in the city of Peekskill.
Absolutely.
And Lauren with her This Is Me Foundation.
Oh my gosh,
and
God
Frank
bless
McCann
Lauren.
and his union support, and Michelle Carter, who is also with me on the board of directors at the Hudson Valley Gateway Chamber of Commerce, second generation on the board.
And is also a wonderful Irish singer. I've got to get that in there.
Yes, and Dart Thomas, who everybody takes their car to in Peekskill.
Everybody. Dart is the go-to guy on Washington Street with your car. Well, it's a fine slate. And immediately following our aides this year are our past Grand Marshals and aides. And here you're going to see a contingent of them walking. In a few moments, we'll see some maybe on Stella the trolley.
I see General Garvey is in there.
Ah,
and,
yes.
Mike Finnegan is in there.
Joselle Canane. Got Father Jim right there.
Father Jim and a group of the aides following.
Ah, there's Vinnie Vesey joining the party. Always to join the party.
And a whole group of our aides from the past, and we have some elected officials behind them as well.
Can I just say, God bless General Garvey.
Absolutely.
Always marching. God bless him.
General Garvey, of course, the second Grand Marshal in our lineup in the 27-year history here in the city of Peekskill.
And here's some of our former aides to the Grand Marshal. And I see Janice Schulman and Chris Ann Brady. We've got prior Grand Marshal Liz Mitchell-Marks. And there's Gigi Lasella, Kathy Johansson.
And I'm looking down the street at the elected officials. We have Acting City Manager Richard Lyons in his first Peekskill St. Patrick's Parade.
Oh, welcome.
Council Member Vivian McKenzie is in there. Council Member Joe Torres. Kathy Talbot is also there.
And here's our mayor, Frank Catalina.
And here's our mayor, Frank Catalina.
Decked out in green, as we knew he would be.
And he was so gracious this morning at our breakfast as well, visiting dignitaries from Ireland are following up behind our elected officials. They are from Castlebar, and that is Peekskill City's sister city in Ireland. Michael Kilcoyne is here, Council Member Blackie Gavin, Council Member Cyril Burke, the city manager Nora Coyne, and the Director of Services Patty Mahan.
And it's always wonderful to welcome our contingent from Castlebar. We just enjoy it every year they can make it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vinnie.
And that's Vinnie Vesey, who emceed the dinner as well.
And I see Councilman Rainey is there too. This is his first St. Patrick's Parade.
Oh, in the big green hat.
I didn't see him in his hat there.
Known as Noodle New.
Yes. So he's joining us.
Town.
And some additional elected officials behind them as well.
Oh, yes. Oh, there's Cyril.
Yes.
That's Cyril from Castlebar. And there's Senator Terry Murphy right there.
Terrence Murphy is with us, yes.
And John Testa.
Assemblywoman Sandy Gala.
You know, Sandy doesn't miss a thing, does she? God bless her.
And also the supervisor from the town of Portland, Linda Puglisi.
Linda Puglisi, whether she's got a cane or not, Linda Puglisi is always here, always marches in our parade. And I also see my councilwoman, Debbie Carter Costello, out there. And it's her sister, Michelle Carter-Verna. That's an aide this year.
Yes.
So I think she's marching in a couple of ways this year.
And we should also point out that we also saw the Chief of Staff for County Executive Rob Astorino in the crowd as well.
Oh, did you?
Hello, Councilman. How are you?
And our Stella the trolley, who took our revelers on their pub tour last evening, yes?
And there's a group of kids riding on board so they can see a parade.
Isn't that great? Oh, we love that Stella. Stella! There's Ann Brady.
And Deb, you know, while we have a moment and a little bit of a break in the action, let's introduce you to some of the other aides that we have. As we mentioned, Dart Thomas is an aide to this year's Grand Marshal. He's better known, well, his name is Dartree, but he's better known as Dart. He was born in Yonkers, and I got to tell you, his history in terms of his name is really amazing. He was named after the woods of Dartree and the castle near Rock Quarry in Northwest County, Monaghan in Ireland. What a great nickname for somebody here in the United States.
Isn't that wonderful?
And, you know, everybody knows him for his automotive service on Washington Street. And in the past 10 years, he and his wife, Kim, and we just met his wife, Kim, a little while ago, they've been buying and selling antique cars and specialty parts for antique cars. And most of Dart's free time is spent around antique cars, in fact.
Isn't that great? And then another aide this year is our darling Lauren Brady. Lauren's the daughter of former Grand Marshals Ann and Joe Brady, who were co-marshals in the year 2000. Well, she's always supported the parade in so many ways, but this year she really stepped it up, didn't she, Bill? She took on her social media, and she took it on with a vengeance, and it was just so well done. Since 2012, Lauren established the This Is Me Foundation and has awarded over 20 scholarships locally and nationally in honor of Ryan Risco and my own precious Kate Siobhan. and they're going to present another 8 scholarships this year.
She's just an amazing young woman, and I've known her most of her life, and it's just an honor to know her. And as we're looking down the street right now, we see the City of Peekskill Police Color Guard is moving into the viewing area here, led by Police Chief Eric Johansson.
Yes.
And while they're coming up in front of our cameras, we want to thank them for everything they do involving our Peekskill Parade in terms of keeping the crowds on the sidelines and also blocking off the streets so that everyone can march through the city of Peekskill.
Yes, and while we're at it, let's go ahead and thank all the city employees that make this possible. It takes a lot. It takes an awful lot of behind-the-scenes work to pull off a beautiful parade such as this, and the city of Peekskill does it so well.
Big round of applause
and there you
for our
have
police.
That's our finest. And they're followed, Bill, by the Music Makers. And the Music Makers Unlimited were founded in 1982 by Peekskill resident Bill Lemat. Their organization provides bands and musicians for parades, concerts, etc. And they're always a crowd pleaser.
And
they're going to perform.
They're going to stop right in front of us, so let's listen in.
Let's listen in. In the back. It should be up front.
Crowd pleaser.
Been looking over a lot of clover with weather like this, Bill.
And as we're looking down the street, we see the City of Peekskill schools represented in a big format here. The Board of Education is there along with the Superintendent of Schools. And we're told that the 2015 National American Miss New York, Brianna Zimmerman, is joining them this year.
And I see the crown. There she is.
And she is the daughter of the Assistant Superintendent of Business, Robin Zimmerman. And she attends Northeastern University and hopes to attain a master's in public health before moving on to medical school. You see the kids from Uriah Hill Elementary School as well, immediately following the representatives
Uriah Hill
from
covers the pre-K program for the district. Look at them all. Look at those glasses. A lot of green.
A lot of green.
And I see Assistant Superintendent Mary Foster out in the middle of it all. There she is.
What a great crowd, great turnout.
Beautiful,
from all the
and they're followed by Woodside. And Woodside has first graders.
And look at their banner.
Isn't that beautiful? So well done. They're all out in full force. Well, after all, it's their parade.
It's their parade, that's right. It's always been a community parade.
There's Marianne
representative of all of our diverse culture here in the city of Peekskill.
Terrific.
What a great group.
And they're followed again by Oakside. And Oakside has the second and third graders. And there's one of our dear Olsen ladies carrying that banner with all those adorable kiddos. Yeah.
Gotta love the glasses and the hats and the green hair.
I mean, they really went all out. There's a whole lot of spirit marching by here. It's wonderful. And then as the camera's just catching them, off in the distance, I see my alma mater, Hillcrest School. Well, now Hillcrest represents the 4th and 5th grades. Of course, Bill, way back when I went to Hillcrest.
Oh, that's a couple years ago, right?
Just a couple. We were there from K through 6th.
Okay.
So a lot of things have changed in the city of Peekskill, but boy, they're out in full force too, and I think it's wonderful to see.
And it's terrific to see each of the grade levels represented here through the school district. And while Hillcrest moves by, let's also talk real quick about one of our other aides, Michelle Carter-Verner.
Yes.
As a traditional Irish singer, Michelle got her start where many do, at the legendary Guinan's Pub Irish Night up in Garrison. She was instrumental in bringing the current session to its current home at the Quiet Man Public House here in the city of Peekskill. She's also involved with the Hudson Valley Irish Festival and the Hudson Valley Irish Center. And a big round of applause for the Hillside kids as they go by.
Yes.
And also, after Superstorm Sandy, Michelle was very active with the Irish Consulate's Irish Day of Action and organized multiple volunteer weekends for Habitat for Humanity to help the Irish residents of Breezy Point and the Rockerways rebuild their homes. She was also invited to perform at the Sandy Session, a 5-concert series that raised nearly $70,000 for the impacted residents of the tri-state area. And as I mentioned earlier, she's a second-generation board member of the Hudson Valley Gateway Chamber of Commerce. I'm proud to serve with her. Her dad was actually a member of the board of directors when I was executive director a number of years ago.
And her dad's an ex-councilman in my town,
in the town of Portland, that's right. She's also a third-generation member of the Hendrick Hudson Lions Club, where she served as its first woman president in 2012.
Isn't that great? And of course, her sister Debbie is a second-generation council person in the town of Cortland, where she now serves. And so now we have the Peekskill High School Band under the direction of John Hahn. The Peekskill High School Band has been performing for this parade for over 25 years. They are fabulous. Look at those red berets. John's all decked out. He's even got a green trombone. Look at him go there. That's their director. Give it up for the Peekskill High School Marching Band.
And this is a treat every year for everybody. They're going to stop and perform here at the reviewing stand.
Yes. Talk about a crowd pleaser, huh, Bill?
They always are year after year.
They've been a source of pride for Peekskill for decades. Well done.
And the mayor of Castlebar really enjoyed that performance.
Isn't that great? Isn't it wonderful to see them right there?
Absolutely, and so great to have them here. Here comes the Irish Club.
Hey.
The Irish Club has been going on for many years at the high school. The group meets once a month to learn about the Celtic culture. Good to see them here.
That's great. You know, Bill, just going to take a minute to mention another one of our wonderful aides, Don Spanky McLennan. And, you know, he's always known to everybody as Spanky. He's been married to his wife and best friend Alice for, well, they just celebrated 44 years. And Alice recently retired from Peekskill City Schools. They have 3 children, but importantly, Spanky retired from MTA North in 2000, having served as their fire chief for 30 years. He began his dedication to the fire service while in high school at age 17 and was a member of Cortland Hook and Ladder No. 1. He rose through the firemanic ranks as 2nd lieutenant, 1st lieutenant, and was the youngest captain ever in 1975.
And here now, the Plumbers, Steam Fitters, and HVACR Service Union Local 21 Pipe Band. Let's listen in. They're under the direction of James Migliori.
We'll get it. Up, we see the AOH, the Ancient Order of Hibernians. This is Westchester County Division 18, and they were founded in Peekskill in 1971. The current president is Clive Cronin, but the AOH goes back, Bill, to 1887, not this particular group, mind you. They are also the co-sponsors of the Hudson Valley Irish Fest at the Peekskill Riverfront Green, which I believe this year is held on Saturday, September 24th.
Great turnout.
There's the AOH. And there's Siobhan Dennehy marching along. That's the ladies' AOH following right behind. So I see Siobhan there and several others.
Ah.
Looks like they're carrying some beautiful bells of Ireland. Lovely, lovely, lovely.
And everyone here on the reviewing stand is enjoying every minute of this parade, Deb. And as we look down the street, we see the Peekskill Elks Lodge, 744, where we were this morning for our brunch. The Elks Lodge has been supporting our community for well over 100 years through their support of many youth organizations, local charities, and their most charitable project, cerebral palsy. And of course, as they've done for many, many years, everybody goes back to the Elks Club after the parade today. They host everyone. And that's a true part of our community here in the city of Peekskill that everybody looks forward to at the end of the parade. And each parade day morning, as I mentioned, they have the brunch. Yes.
In that car, I believe there's the head of the Elks Club. We thank them so much. I mean, the Elks are indeed community.
And great convertible.
Beautiful.
And perfect for this kind of weather, Deb.
No question shiny about black it. Car or blue car, Bill?
Well, you know that the actually the Elks Club are presenting the Chef Stanley with an American flag.
Oh, how lovely. Yes, very nice. And that gentleman provided a lovely toast to all of the people that attended the brunch this morning as well, to welcome them into the Elks Hall.
And they also welcomed our visiting dignitaries from Ireland with some gifts as well.
Yes, they certainly did. And this is more of the Elks Lodge 744 rolling by.
And, you know, we really do appreciate their support year in and year out, and they've been with us really since its inception in terms of the parade, and they do so much here in the city of Peekskill.
And they make a beautiful breakfast.
They make a great breakfast.
I had a lovely omelet, I'll tell you. It was just wonderful. Yes. Uh-oh.
Well, we know what that's.
We know who's coming now.
While we're doing that, while we're waiting for that group to
Yes.
come on down, let's talk about Frank McCann, who is
Great.
another aide to this year's Grand Marshal. Frank is a career union activist in the Transport Workers Union and is currently the Senior Director of Organizing for TWU Local 100, and he represents more than 40,000 transportation workers in Greater New York. Frank was appointed to the position of TWU of American International Organizer in 1999, and in the following years played a key role in organizing new properties here in New York and also in New Jersey. He was appointed to the position of International Director of Organizing back in 2007 and achieved much success in that role as well. Frank is particularly proud of his work with the flight attendants throughout the nation to raise standards for them. He is a proud member of AOH Division 18 here in Peekskill that just went by. He was born in the Bronx, and Frank is a resident of Putnam Valley. He and his wife, Eileen Travis McCann, have 2 children, Kelsey and Sean actually had to fill in for his dad at our brunch back in October because his dad was in Washington that day.
I see. And now, coming into view, we have the Tarrytown VFW Drum and Bugle Corps, and they're going to perform, so we're going to talk about them after the performance. Drum and Bugle, they march in almost 30 parades a year, and they're recognized as one of the most distinguished and powerful musical units in the tri-state area. They were founded in 1932.
And here comes the 5th New York Regiment. They are an educational Revolutionary War enactment group based here in the Hudson Valley and dressed in period garb. The 5th New York Regiment has been teaching history through interpretation, recreating battles, and community outreach, and they're going to actually perform here to the Grand Marshal and right in front of us.
Okay, hold the little kids' ears.
Okay. We always joke about this. They're actually going to salute the Grand Marshal.
A military salute.
And you heard the guns in the background. They actually fire off as they're walking along the parade route.
Shoulder, firelock. Unfixed bayonet.
And as they say, their Highlands are their heritage, and as the Hudson Valley's own regiment, they strive to keep history alive.
Isn't that wonderful?
Thank you.
Very nice.
Well, and then immediately on the heels of the New York Regiment is the Lincoln Society in Peekskill. Marching today, we have Society President Tristy Nichols, Secretary Michael Macedonia as Lincoln himself, Will Walsh, Rick Risco, Paul Martin, and Polly Byers and her family dressed in period garb.
Yes. Don't they look
Great-looking
great?
bunch.
Beautiful.
On
Just
February
beautiful.
19th, 1861, President-elect Lincoln gave a direct address to 1,500 people here at the Peekskill Railway Depot on his way to his inauguration. Let's listen in.
Yes.
Let me say that my co-opinion unanimously sustained this meeting to indicate I shall be in my management of public affairs, I shall probably not fail. But without that sustaining arm, I'm quite sure that the difficulties that lie before me will not only be too great for my humble self, but too great for any individual man. I thank you then as I have thanked the several thousands upon various occasions as I have passed along my routes for such demonstrations which, if they mean anything, means that I shall be supported not only by the party which gave me election, but by the free, intelligent, and courteous support of all of the parties in the country.
It's a very young Abe Lincoln.
That's a very young Abe. That's Abe the early years.
The Lincoln Society.
He's terrific. He's terrific.
The Lincoln Society in Peekskill was conceived in 1903 to commemorate the event that I mentioned where President-elect
Yes.
Lincoln spoke to people here in Peekskill, and to perpetuate the name of Abraham Lincoln and to encourage and foster patriotism. It is the oldest Lincoln Society in the nation, and their annual dinner will be held on April 9th this year.
Yes, it will. And now we see Boy Scout Troop 45 from Van Cortlandtville coming along. We've got them following a truck with something in tow there with their name, Troop 45, right on it, and a fleur-de-lis. And so here comes these sweet Boy Scouts. Well, small and tall.
Just to let you know,
small
I
and
see
tall.
Rob Ascarino, the county executive from Westchester,
Yes.
has joined the parade route. He was over at the Mount Kisco parade and
nice.
made a beeline right here for the city of Peekskill. So it's great to see Rob Ascarino here. He's greeting folks in the crowd. And
He's always very welcome here in
the Boy Scout
Peekskill.
Troop 45 continues to move by the reviewing stand,
Yes.
and also the
And then we have the
following-
Cub Pack,
Yes.
the Cub Scouts Pack 45 following.
And actually, the Boy Scouts are saluting the Grand Marshal.
How nice. As a good scout would. So now this is the Cub Pack 45.
Pack.
Those are the little ones. Oh, and look who's following them. They've got a wee pony with them.
Yes, they do. They were established back in 1957, and they work with youth to achieve their goals to become better citizens here in the United States.
That is a beautiful little pony. Look at that coming along. Oh, we've got green hair, green hats, green glasses,
And they're throwing candy at us.
and a bit of a float there.
And a
Number
little float,
45
yeah.
race car. Oh, and the pony's pulling a cart. Isn't that nice? There's two ponies.
There's two
We have a
ponies,
pony
yeah.
pulling a cart and a pony walking on his own. Well, Troop 45 Cub Pack really went all out. Very, very nice. And now Rob's going to make his way,
Yep.
the county
Nice.
executive, up to join the other dignitaries on the reviewing stand for the bird's eye view of the parade. And now we hear in the distance the Hudson Highlands Pipe Band. That band was originally formed in 2006 as the Cold Spring Fire Company Pipe and Drum. The band has played at Carnegie Hall, Bill, with the Chieftains, and they compete in local piping competitions as well.
And I also see on the
they're gonna
sidelines our
perform.
parade chairman, Steve
Ah, there
Connor,
he
keeping
is.
an eye on everything.
He's kind of easy to spot with that green beard, don't you
Absolutely.
think? I love it. He has that green beard every year.
And speaking of the Hudson Highland Band, let's listen in as they come by the
Yes.
reviewing stand.
Gary Owen.
And our good friend Michael McCartney is in there playing.
Oh, Mike McCartney from Cable?
Cable, yes.
Oh, he produced us for years, didn't he, or directed?
Yes. I see the county executive greeted our former Grand Marshal, Liz Mitchell-Marks, with a big hug and kiss.
Excellent.
They are friends. We actually, and I'm friends with Rob too, we go back many, many years.
Yes, yes, you do. And now, I believe, Bill, that this is Girl Scout Heart of the Hudson, Troop 2144. Look at that banner. Isn't that
banner.
wonderful?
Look at the smiles on their faces.
You know, the smiles are enough to set your heart ablaze, aren't they?
And here comes Troop 2069 as well, immediately following them.
There we go. Another beautiful banner. Look at this, welcoming spring. Look at those flowers on that banner. And they are followed by more Girl Scouts, this troop from West Lakeland, Troop 1281. And they've been together since kindergarten. They're working on their Bronze Award now, Bill.
And I see everybody here on the reviewing stand is just really enjoying the parade route and the marchers as they move by the parade reviewing stand here.
And then from Van Cortlandtville Elementary, we have Girl Scout Troop 2426. They were formed 4 years ago when the girls were just 5. They're active in many diverse activities in their community. Another gorgeous banner. Look at the rainbow. Oh my goodness, the Girl Scout logo in the center. They just look beautiful.
And then we have Daisy Troop 2154.
2154.
And they've marched the whole parade route. They're probably tired by now.
Look at the daisies on that banner. That is wonderful. Those are some little legs to march the whole distance. But they do it and they serve us proudly. Just beautiful.
And right in front of us actually is the acting city manager. That's his official title here in the city of Peekskill, Richard Lyons. And as I mentioned earlier, this is his first Peekskill St. Patrick's Parade.
And we pray it won't be his last.
No, he signed a 2-year contract, so we got him for at least 2 more years.
Very good.
He's got a longer contract than we have.
Well, since we have none. And now we've got a lovely little brownie troop coming in, number 1361. Would you look at those little brownies? They couldn't be any cuter. And another gorgeous banner. Look at how lovely that is. Well done, girls. Well done.
And immediately on their heels is Girl Scout Troop 2661. These girls are from Van Cortland Elementary School.
Again, I cannot get over these handmade banners. You couldn't go out and buy anything as fine. They're absolutely wonderful. And I'm sure the girls work very hard to make them. Just beautiful.
And while we have a little bit of a break before the next Girl Scout trip comes up, I want to thank a few people in particular, starting with, and I mentioned Steve Connor just a little while ago.
Yes.
He is the chairperson of our parade committee. He and his wife, Joanne, put many, many hours in putting this parade together, and we thank them so much. We also want to thank our chairman, Emeritus Jack Murphy, our vice chairperson, Joe Brady, our treasurer, Ann Brady, and you, of course, Deb, as our secretary, along with Kathy Johansson.
I'm going to have to cut in then, Bill, and I'm going to have to give a very hearty thanks to you as our current chairperson. You do the Lions share. You lead us well. We're delighted to work with you, and I can't thank you enough. And with that, we have Girl Scouts Troop 1347. And look at those little legs go. All that green, another lovely banner with a rainbow. Well done,
and as they move by the reviewing stand, let me also thank our dinner chairperson, Chuck McGrail, our mass chairperson, Janice Malloy, who took over this year.
Talk about Lion shares.
And she's done a terrific job over at Assumption Church working with us. And we mentioned her a little bit earlier. One of our aides to the Grand Marshal, Lauren Brady, took over our social media this year. And I can't tell you how many thousands and thousands and thousands of likes and posts we got.
She reached people that have never been reached before, that's for sure.
And I also want to thank our pub tour chairs, Sue Sheridan, Joe Brady, and Lauren Brady again.
Oh, yes.
And Sue Sheridan coordinated with the city for all of the shamrocks that were placed throughout the city for this special day for the Irish.
Wonderful, wonderful job. And what a beautiful journal we all put together, but that you finalized, Bill. Again, absolutely stunning.
Thank you.
There's never been a finer one. It was just beautiful. And now, approaching the reviewing stand, we have the Tappan Zee Bridgemen. They're going to perform for us. Always a delight. So happy to have them back.
Let's listen in.
Beautiful, look at this.
Great performance. Great
Wonderful,
performance.
wonderful.
And now the fourth division, we have a total of 5 divisions in today's parade. The fourth division is coming up now. That was led by the Tappan Zee Bridgemen. Here comes St. Columbanus School. St. Columbanus was named after an Irish saint of the 6th century. The parish locally was founded back in 1950. The school opened in 1956. And the students are from pre-K through 8. They attend the school. And what a great crowd they've got.
What
a great representation.
Turnout. Beautiful. I love those shamrock hats. I need to get one of those. They're singing. Nice little performance there. The Grand Marshal seems to approve.
Well, you know, he has a fondness for children and education, so I think when he sees something like that, it just really touches his heart.
It's just a natural connection, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Lovely.
And as we look down the street, Deb, we can see the Masonic Lodge from Portland, number 34. The Free and Accepted Masons, right. And Robert McCarthy is the senior. That was just County Executive Rob Ascarino shouting over to say hello while he's meeting the dignitaries from Ireland.
Don't they look lovely, the Masonic Lodge?
They do, and Robert McCarthy is their senior warden, we're told.
Very nice, very nice.
And I see my friend Rick Swan is in there.
Oh.
Great. And he's also been active with the Chamber of Commerce, so good to see him.
Excellent. And then now coming into view, we see the Kelly Oster School of Irish Dance. And as they do each year, they're going to perform here for the Grand Marshal. But they also did a nice performance at this year's dinner.
Yes.
And it was really a crowd pleaser. The school is celebrating many years, and they participated in every Peekskill St. Patrick's Parade. You can see them performing all around the area during the month of March. Their ages range from 3 to 18, and they span from beginner to champion levels. So this is a real treat.
And not to correct you, but they performed at last year's dinner.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's okay, but they were great.
I thought they were also at this
They were
year's
terrific.
dinner.
No.
That's right, it was Kathy McGurty's dinner. I'm sorry.
That's
and
okay.
And you should well correct me.
We want to give credit where it's due. Look at these kids. Oh, wow.
Isn't they great?
And you can tell the proud parents are walking closely behind.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Well, it's a family effort.
It's a community effort also. The city of Peekskill is a great community. If you haven't been here in a while, it's an opportunity to come back downtown, enjoy one of our great restaurants, lots of performances. And while the Lions Club is moving up, just do maybe we'll wait until after the Lions Club passes by. Why don't you do that one first? But I want to talk to you about the Embark performance.
Oh, well, the Embark performance. My goodness, it was the Hudson Valley Irish Center, Embark, and the Flats that presented this wonderful piece, The Man in the Woman's Shoes. And now I see Janice Malloy.
Yes.
I see Janice Malloy and the Peekskill Lions Club. Janice is the current president. She was the chairperson of the Mass today.
She's a former aide as well.
Oh my gosh, she, with the Lions Club, helped to sponsor the Quiet Man's Turkey Run for the benefit of CHOP, Peekskill's local caring for the homeless of Peekskill. And this particular Lions Club has been in existence for 80 years, Bill. Over 80 years, I believe. They're a local civic organization raising funds for scholarships, Guiding Eyes for the Blind, and other local charities. So we're very happy to see our Lions Club. And I think now we have our Knights of Columbus.
Knights of Columbus, Monsignor Francis Ansborough, Council 462 of the Knights of Columbus from here in Peekskill. The organization has been serving the Peekskill community since 1899. The Knights of Columbus support, through charitable acts, the needs of the Catholic community in the Peekskill area. And you see the young people that are represented here as well.
Isn't that great? Yeah, established 1899. And God bless Monsignor Ansborough, dearly departed, but never gone from our hearts. And now we hear in the distance the Lakeland Copper Beach Middle School Grade 8 band. And they're going to perform for us. My girls both went to Lakeland Copper Beach. It's a wonderful middle school in the town of Cortland. We're going to listen in. Play for the dignitary.
Wow, Lakeland Copper Beach Middle School.
Great stuff. That was beautiful.
And next coming up is the Hudson Valley Gateway Chamber of Commerce. I'm the former chairman of that group.
Yes, you are.
And it's led by Deb Malone, the executive director, and Linda Murphy, who is the president of the
Linda
board,
holding the banner,
chairwoman of the board. And they're celebrating women in business this month. The chamber was voted, by the way, the Chamber of the Year last year by the Business Council of New York State. It was quite an honor. And coming off the Chamber's 100th year anniversary. Let's listen in.
And there's Maureen Winzig, Bill, in that wonderful green, sparkly cowboy hat, the president of the Peekskill Arts Alliance.
Peekskill's own Rockettes.
Well, that was great. Well done, ladies. Well done.
It's an amazing organization. If you're not a member of the Chamber, you really should belong to the Chamber. And be sure to save the date. Saturday, August 6, 2016 at the Peekskill Riverfront Green Park as the Hudson Valley Exposition returns. Check out hvgatewaychamber.com for more information.
And now I see, Bill, the Peekskill Yacht Club, established in 1908, promoting the art of seamanship and the sport of yachting. And look at the wee pup with the green bow. Isn't that wonderful?
With our friend Christian there, leading the pack.
And the Yacht Club helps in maintaining the city's waterfront. Chef Stanley, this year's Grand Marshal, became a member of the Yacht Club. And they're followed by the boat. We always enjoy seeing the boat come on down
They were
James
joking
Street
on
every
Facebook
year.
last night they should be pulling a water skier behind them next year.
Well, with weather like this, I certainly hope so.
And I also saw in the crowd Will Richard, who used to be one of
Oh.
the Dragon Boat captains for us during Peekskill Celebration.
Wow,
and I
remember
saw
that?
that he
Oh.
just became a dad earlier this year, so
Well,
congratulations to Will. And I saw his dad leading the that group in the beginning there as well.
You know, the mayor, who was it? The mayor, someone asked us to remember Jack Burns
Yes.
in our celebrations. I think Jack is had seen a little bit easier days. So I just want to send out a shout of love and light to darling, dear Jack Burns.
Absolutely. And we see now, as we're looking down the street here, the Westchester Firefighters Pipe and Drum Band, and they're going to come up to the reviewing stand and perform as well.
Great.
And I believe our aide to the Grand Marshal, Spanky McLennan, is involved with this group, and he actually, I think, slipped back into the parade.
And correct me if I'm wrong, they performed at this year's dinner.
They performed at this year's dinner, yes.
I'll get it right yet.
I see Spanky here on the reviewing stand. I thought maybe he would step off and guide the guys up to the reviewing stand, but he's letting them...
It's his place of honor today here on the reviewing
Absolutely.
stand. He's letting the other fellas take the load. They look equipped to do it.
Wow, the Westchester County Firefighters Emerald Society Pipe Band.
There goes Vinnie Malaspina, fire department.
I know Spanky's very proud of that group that just went by.
And
so.
well, he should be. They're a fine piping group.
And as we see now, the Peekskill pageants in their car, courtesy of Louis Lanza from the Hudson Room, we have Miss Hispanic America, New York, Julie Pena, Miss Italia, Putnam County, Lindsay Frioli, Miss Italia Peekskill, Ava Gallo, and Little Miss Italia Peekskill, Savannah Sharp.
Very
What
nice.
a beautiful group of young ladies.
Isn't that lovely? Look at those crowns upon them. Very nice, young ladies. Very nice.
And immediately following them is WSBK K104.7, today's hit music. K104 is a top 40 radio station broadcasting throughout the Hudson Valley, featuring the Woodman in the Morning Show. So welcome. This is their first appearance in the Peekskill St. Patrick's
K104,
Parade.
welcome, welcome. Gorgeous van. Spring colors.
And I also see several folks from the Peekskill Post. Brian, who attended our dinner the other night, did a great job at profiling our Grand Marshal. And now let's listen in as the Peekskill Volunteer Ambulance Corps and the fire departments from the surrounding areas move past the reviewing stand. We have representation from Peekskill, Buchanan, Montrose, and Verplank. And, you know, we really appreciate the fire departments and ambulance corps and all the EMTs for coming out and supporting the parade. But you know what? All year round, they come out and support us.
Absolutely. This is a showing in one sense, but that's the real showing, is the wonderful, wonderful support they provide, life-saving support.
They come out day or night, it doesn't matter. They're here for the community.
24/7. Great, great job they do.
Because it means it's the end of the parade.
And another job well done.
A great job. And again, I think we have so many emergency response vehicles in honor of Spanky.
I was going to say that, absolutely. Spanky, a local hero himself.
See Garrison in there as well.
Yes.
Great representation there from Continental Village.
Wow.
And what a long line of emergency vehicles. And they're actually making a left turn to clear the end of the street here at the end of James and Brown. And the crowd here really has enjoyed today's parade. I see everybody is still here, and we're hoping that everybody stays around in Peekskill and visits one of our fine restaurants.
Absolutely. We're hoping to see everybody down in the middle of town celebrating Peekskill some more, because like you said, Bill, it's all about community. And everybody's Irish in the month of March.
Absolutely. And I want to thank everybody, well, everybody for coming out and celebrating my birth month.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm so happy we were able to honor your birthday at the dinner.
Thank you.
That was this year, yes?
That was this year. That was this year, yeah. It happens once every 7 years, unless it's a leap year. So.
And Joe Brady on the pipes.
I was playing Happy Birthday.
That
was a special treat for me. I'll always remember that.
And quickly got a cake.
I'm still eating that cake, by the way.
Oh, excellent.
I'm going to have to start watching Chef Stanley's TV series again.
I'm getting that eating my cooking light. I heard we have an inn.
I think we do. So that concludes our coverage of the 27th Annual Peekskill St. Patrick's Parade. What a great parade it was here in the city of Peekskill. Congratulations once again to Grand Marshal Stanley Rapinski and his aides, Lauren Brady, Michelle Carter-Verner, Spanky McLennan, Frank McCann, and Dart Thomas.
And Bill, may I just say thanks to you also, our esteemed chairman, and thanks to our parade chairs once again, Steve and Joanne Connor, all the volunteers who make this parade possible, as well as the city of Peekskill for their tremendous support. Again, this doesn't just happen. It takes a lot of behind-the-scenes work, and we've got a ton of people that get it done. So we say thank you also to the city of Peekskill.
Do you have a closing thought, Deb?
I just want to thank everyone that's here, everyone that's watching at home, because together we kick off in fine fashion the St. Patrick's season here in the city of Peekskill, and we make it a true community celebration.
Well, and as I do every year, let us leave you with this Irish blessing. May the road rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. May the rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God keep you in the palm of his hand. From the Peekskill St. Patrick's Parade Committee, and on behalf of myself and Deb Carlin Polhill, thank you so much for watching. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.